name is David Johnson. I am the founder and CEO of Alpha Insurance Trade Association. We are on the hunt for qualified individuals with strong leadership skills and an entrepreneurial mindset. For the right person, the income potential in our association is significant. This presentation is designed to give you a quick overview of the opportunities that are available. If, after reviewing this video, you believe you would be a good fit for our association, then you can apply via any of our existing regional managers or sales managers. Starting off, I would like to acknowledge several people whose assistance in this program have been invaluable. First of all, I would like to thank Ashley Johnson for her hard work as COO and CFO of our corporation. Her efforts in helping us establish this program have been beyond priceless. Thank you, Ashley. I would also like to thank Carrie Fields, a former staff attorney for the Texas Department of Insurance Enforcement Division, and now our General Counsel. It was Carrie's expertise and extensive background in insurance law that guided us through the maze of statutory requirements to ensure that our program fully adhered to all state and federal regulations. Thank you, Carrie. I would also like to give thanks to the staff attorneys at the Texas Department of Insurance Enforcement Division who referred Carrie Fields to us and have been a driving force in our association to correctly understand Texas statutes and to strictly adhere to both the letter and spirit of the law. Thank you. Before I go over the available opportunities in our association, I would like to give you a little background. Beginning with a little bit of history, I was licensed as a pastor in June of 1978. Later, in October of 1993, I decided to fulfill my pastoral calling through business. The goal was to use my business background to help fund charitable purposes. To that end, my wife and I became general contractors. By 1995, we were doing over $6 million in gross sales and had as many as 140 jobs going at a time. We ended up becoming preferred vendors for many insurance carriers, and I ended up being used as an expert witness in many insurance disputes. In 2004, my life changed. One of our insurance service providers called me up and asked me to stop everything I was doing and fly out to Florida. They had just got hit with several hurricanes and there were more that were expected. They said, "Come on out, just give us 3 months and we promise we will pay you really, really well." I was good with really well, so I packed up my little bags and I went to Florida. 3 months turned into 3 years. It was a very interesting experience. In 2007, the hurricanes began to die down, so we packed up our bags and moved to Texas. After the dust settled, a business plan was conceived that had the potential to significantly fund charitable organizations. So on October 16, 2009, we changed our direction and the Alpha Insurance Trade Association was born. My wife took over the ownership of the construction firm and it was converted into a support entity to service the needs of the Alpha members and to help fulfill our charitable purpose. Since then, Alpha regional offices have grown. We now have offices in Austin, San Antonio, San Marcos, Round Rock, Waco, Dallas-Fort Worth, Houston, Corpus Christi, and we're still growing. So what is it that we do? We pretty much do what we have always done, which is insurance restoration. That's what our members are involved with. After we moved to Texas, we found that there was an opportunity that didn't exist back home, and that opportunity came in the form of wind and hail damage. Texas weather is very cooperative in that regard. But we handle other things as well. Tornadoes, hurricanes, fire, floods, lightning, foundations, pretty much anything that would be related to an insurance claim. But roofing is our bread and butter, and with just that, we are busy year-round. 90% of the qualifying roofs out there are left unrepaired. The reason is, you can't see moderate or light hail damage from the ground. Most people don't even know their roofs are damaged because they never bother to get them inspected. This provides a great opportunity, and our members are taking advantage of it. The founding principles, as you might expect from a licensed pastor, is honesty and integrity. I am absolutely committed to making a difference. Our mission statement is success without purpose is meaningless and empty. To that end, we have set up a program whereby 70% of the net profits of every job we do are given to charity. Our charitable organization is called Life Forward International and is currently structured under the umbrella of Waterstone, formerly Christian Community Foundation. Last year, we were able to fund the purchase and construction of an orphanage in Sri Lanka. Another passion that we have is in preventing human trafficking among children, especially the little girls that are slated for the sex trades. This is going to be one of our upcoming goals and something that we hope to have a significant impact in. The donations to Life Forward International are made on behalf of our members. Our members receive these funds as income, and they also receive the applicable tax benefits of their donations. This gives our members a vested interest in the work that is being done. They can even go online and look at the faces of the children that their efforts are affecting. So what is it that makes us unique? Alpha is an association of independent insurance service providers. Our members are all independent businesses. If you are not already, you would end up becoming your own company. You can do this for free simply by using your tax ID and a 1099 form. However, we strongly encourage everyone to take the next step and get their own business name. It only costs between $15 and $25, and you end up getting tremendous tax benefits. Virtually everything related to your business can be written off. If you wanted to, you could take it up to the next level. In the state of Texas, you can become an LLC or corporation by filling out a simple form and paying about $300. Like all trade associations, Alpha provides training, support, and networking opportunities for its members. Public adjusters within the association literally volunteer their time for the charitable cause of our foundation. The volunteer efforts of our public adjusters make our members the only business entities in the country, in the world for that matter, that are able to refer to their customers the service of a public adjuster who will not charge them for their service. So what is a public adjuster? A public adjuster is the only person outside of a lawyer that can legally represent the interest of an insured in a claim. So why do we need public adjusters? In a claim, you want to have professional representation, especially if the other guy does, and they do. The insurance companies will send out a property and casualty adjuster and make no bones about it. They are trained to protect the interests of the carrier. It is like going into a courtroom. You want to have a lawyer, especially if the other guy has one. Another reason we need public adjusters is because contractors cannot legally represent the interests of an insured who is their customer. The statute is clear. Nobody but lawyers and public adjusters can act on behalf of an insured in negotiating for or affecting the settlement of a claim. Also, contractors have no legal authority. The contractors who try violate the law, and the government is doing their best to shut them down. Both the Texas Department of Insurance and the Texas Association of Public Insurance Adjusters are on the hunt for these contractors, and they are shutting them down en masse. Another reason contractors cannot represent an insured in a claim is because according to state statute, the person representing the subject claim must be completely independent from the restoration and repairs, financially and otherwise. Statute clearly states that the person representing the claim cannot participate directly or indirectly in the reconstruction, repair, or restoration of damaged property that is the subject of a claim adjusted by the license holder, or engage in any other activities that may be reasonably construed as presenting a conflict of interest, including having a financial interest in any claim that the license holder has a contract or agreement to adjust. It doesn't get much clearer than that. Even if a contractor wanted to pay the insured's costs for a public adjuster, they cannot. According to state statute, this is considered a blatant conflict of interest. A contractor can have a public adjuster's license, but according to state statute, he must not act as a public adjuster on an insurance claim that he has an agreement to adjust if he has any interest in the repairs whatsoever, and vice versa. If a public adjuster is representing a claim, he completely forfeits any opportunities to be involved in the repairs of the subject claim. Another reason our public adjusters volunteer their time is because of the financial burden to the consumer. The typical public adjuster in Texas will charge the insured 10% of the claim settlement amount for their services. Texas statute limits the amount a public adjuster can charge to 10% of the claim settlement. Even so, this makes professional representation in a claim unaffordable to the average consumer. Those in the Department of Consumer Affairs that know about our program have shown appreciation for us having developed an affordable alternative to high-priced representation, and free is pretty darn affordable. Another reason our public adjusters volunteer their time is because it removes an inherent conflict of interest. Because the typical public adjuster gets paid a percentage of the claim settlement, some public adjusters have gotten the reputation for attempting to wrongfully inflate a claim settlement in order to increase their personal profit. Having been on both sides of the fence, I can tell you that this sentiment is sometimes painfully accurate. Having public adjusters that literally volunteer their time removes any financial incentive for them to wrongfully inflate anything. In fact, we train our adjusters to be completely fair and ethical on every single claim, and they do, simply because they have no motivation whatsoever to do anything else. Our reputation for honesty and integrity is beginning to spread throughout the insurance industry, at least among those who know about us. In fact, many within the industry have expressed an appreciation for our public adjusters simply because we have eliminated the inherent conflict of interest that tempts some public adjusters to try to wrongfully inflate a settlement. So how do our public adjusters get paid? Simply put, they don't. They are literally volunteers. Another reason our public adjusters volunteer their time is because the independent members of our association network with each other. It ensures that the tremendous advantage of free professional representation to their own customers is maintained. Public adjusters within the association give of themselves to customers of others and do so gratefully because they know that there are other licensed members out there that are willing to volunteer their time as well. Because of that, their own customers will have the same opportunity that has been afforded to others. In a competitive market, this advantage is priceless. Another reason our public adjusters volunteer their time is because of the charitable purpose. I have had many of our members express their excitement for being involved in a purpose that is truly making a difference. After everyone gets paid, 70% of the net profits are donated to a worthwhile cause. Our members love that. It gives significance to their efforts. Our mission statement is "Success without purpose is meaningless and empty." Conversely, success with purpose is most fulfilling indeed. That is the driving force that motivates our members to go above and beyond and to do more than any other company out there. We currently have about a 10-to-1 ratio, one licensed public adjuster for every 10 members in the association. This ratio has been working fine. Available opportunities. Well, this is what you came to hear about. Within our association, we have solicitors, solicitor salespeople, estimators, sales managers, project managers, senior project managers, office administrators, regional managers, senior regional managers, subcontractors, insurance appraisers, insurance dispute umpires, and public adjusters. In regards to the various opportunities, I would like to give you some income projections. Our members are all independent agents. They contract within the company and also network their opportunities with each other. The following income projections are based on the current efforts of our members since January 2009. The first opportunity is the solicitor referral. When someone gives one of our members a referral that turns into a job, they receive $100. Someone gets $100 at every job that is done. When I first started this, I would go into a neighborhood that was damaged by hail, and then I would walk up and down the street and identify the roofs that were old and nasty. If it was an old roof, chances are in the state of Texas it had been through several hailstorms. I would go up to those old nasty roofs and knock on the door, and I would let them know that their roof might possibly qualify to be paid for by their insurance carrier. Then I would go ahead and give them a free inspection and see if they did. I only focused on areas where hail had caused damage, so it was almost always a sure case that they were eligible. I would go out on a Saturday in an area that had suffered hail damage and go door to door. Usually I could pick up 2 or 3 jobs in a day. This is probably about average. I'm not a very good salesperson, but when you are trying to sell something that is being paid for by someone else, it makes it a lot easier. The record in our company is 15 in one day. It is a good opportunity for customers. I have offered this opportunity to folks, and they have literally taken me by the hand and walked me up and down the street, introducing me to their neighbors. It is not a bad opportunity for college students. If you find college students that have average sales ability, like me, and if he goes out on a Saturday and if he gets 2 or 3 jobs in a day, well, that's $200 or $300. There are not many places where a college student can go out on a part-time basis and make that kind of money. It's not a bad opportunity for kids either. We have had one kid up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He is the kind of kid that would run around the neighborhood and knock on your door and ask if he could mow your lawn for $5 or wash your car for $2 or whatever it might be. He was just kind of a natural sales kid. So he got a hold of this opportunity and started walking up and down the street knocking on doors and got 3 referrals his first day. The kid was in heaven. Referrals are the first ones to get paid. They get paid as soon as the construction agreement is signed. The duties of a referral person are to provide those referrals. How much money can a person make? Well, it's a little hard to say because we have nobody in our association that is only a referral provider. But I can tell you that there is a lady who used to work for a local roofing company that used to get paid exactly the same way, $100 for every referral that becomes a job. She did this on a full-time basis and made about $60,000 a year. No one in our association does referrals on a full-time basis because the salesperson position provides a much better opportunity. Had she been in our association at the time, she would be making 3 times what she was making working for that roofing contractor. Moving up to solicitor salesperson, they not only receive that $100 referral fee, but they also receive a commission split with the estimator they are working with. Because they both are independent companies, they work out the amount of that commission split between them. It usually works out between 10 and 50% of the commission allowance, depending on the split of their duties. If all the salesperson does is get the representation agreement signed, it is usually a 20-80 split, 20% being for the salesperson. The duties of the salesperson are to provide the referral and get that $100 and get the representation agreement signed. Getting that representation agreement signed pretty much locks in the job for our members. For the customer, the letter of representation is very benign. It basically says that the public adjuster will represent their claim and will do so at no cost, period. There is no catch whatsoever. The other agreement deals with the estimator. It basically says that the contractor will provide one of their independent estimators to assist the public adjuster primarily by providing an estimate. His efforts in assisting the public adjuster are also at no charge. He and the public adjuster will either win, or there is no further obligation on the part of the insured. For the insured, it is pretty much a no-lose situation. For our members, it is a tremendous advantage because our public adjusters represent the claim to the carrier on behalf of the insured, which gives them a great deal of control over the claim settlement process. Not only that, but as a public adjuster, they are typically named as a payee on the check, which gives them control of the money. When our members have control over the claim settlement and control over the money, it becomes very difficult to lose a job. This also helps to ensure that the 70% of the net profits get to the charitable purpose for which this program was set up. I said that the income potential is $60,000 plus. I put $60,000 down on the low side because a motivated person with even rudimentary skills can do that and much more. The next position is the estimator. The estimator is pretty much the top dog in the organization. The commissions they receive is 70% of the operating profit. That is the remaining profit after all operating expenses are paid. The commissions are paid upon completion of the job and after the final payments are received. The duties of the estimator is to assist the public adjuster, complete the paperwork, get the construction agreement signed, and turn the job over to the project manager. The income potential is about $187,000 and change. Well, where do I get that from? An average residential roofing claim is about $10,000. Our members are trained to shoot for a 20% margin, give or take. Assuming that the estimator was giving away 10% to the salesperson for providing the referral, the 60% remaining would be $1,200. If that estimator is able to secure one job per week, that would work out to about $62,000 and change a year. If he was able to bring in 2 jobs per week, well, now he's into a 6-digit income. 3 jobs per week is what I think an average person with reasonable skills can expect to do. The math will work out to about $187,000 and change per year. 4 jobs per week, then you're above average. 5 jobs per week, then you're Superman. We have nobody in the association who is able to consistently get 5 jobs per week, but on occasion they do hit it, and that ends up being a very good week for them. The next notch up is the sales manager estimator. The sales manager is simply an estimator who recruits, trains, and manages another estimator, plus does his own work. The commissions are paid at 40% of the administrative allowance, which is 14% of the gross profits. Commissions, again, are paid upon completion of the job and after the final payments are received. Well, what is the income potential for a sales manager? About $325,000 and change. Well, where did I get that from? Well, if we go back to the average job, $10,000 gross sale with 20% margin, let's say he's out there doing a good job, getting 3 jobs per week and making his $187,000 and change per year. If he recruits, trains, and manages someone else to do the same thing, he would receive an override commission of $133 and change based upon the average residential job. If he is able to train this estimator so that he is able to produce 2 jobs per week, that would mean that he would receive an override commission of $266 and change per week from the jobs this fellow does. If he is able to raise up a team of 10 people who can all do the same thing, that is $2,666 and change per week. You multiply that by 52 weeks in a year and you get $138,000 and change. Add that to the $187, and that is where we get the $325 and change per year. The next level is the senior sales manager. By definition, they are ones that train and manage other sales managers. They do this by working with their existing estimators so that they can in turn become sales managers themselves. As an incentive for their efforts, the senior sales manager receives an override commission of 10% of the administrative allowance. The next opportunity is project managers. The project managers are the ones that oversee and coordinate the construction. The commissions are paid at 40% of the administrative allowance, and the commissions are paid upon the completion of the job. Our project managers tell us that they make about $45 per hour. Most of the people in the association will project manage their own jobs or have their spouses do that for them. The next position is pretty much a gimme. That is the senior project manager. They are the ones that recruit, train, and manage other project managers. The amount of money that they receive is about $30 per average residential job. That is actually a pretty good commission considering they don't have to do anything to receive it. That is just a little bit of residual income they receive every time one of the people they train completes a job. So in summary, if you have an average job of about $10,000 with a 20% margin, the total commission would be about $1,400. Assuming that the estimator gives away 10% to the salesperson he is working with, his 60% would come to $1,200. The salesperson's 10% would come to $200 plus the $100 referral fee, so that would be $300 to the salesperson. The sales manager would make $133 and change, the senior sales manager $33 and change, the project manager $133 and change, and the senior project manager $33 and change. And the foundation, which is the lifeblood in everything we do, would receive about $420. This is how it works out for an average residential claim. When you get into commercial jobs, the commissions end up being much higher. So how do you get started? Well, it starts with an independent contractor agreement between you and the construction entity that was set up to service our members. You will work with them. They will give you a 1099 form and a workers' comp waiver. From there, you will be assigned to an Alpha Regional Manager. That person will get you through the basic training course. This is a self-study course that you can go through at your own pace and is designed to give you all the basic information you need to do your job. The regional manager will also get you set up on the central server. We operate from a central server that you can access from anywhere in the world via a remote desktop connection. On that server is the training material that you will need to get your job done. Also on that server is everything else you could possibly imagine related to this business. Everything you need to know in order to be successful is on the server and is available for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Also, your regional manager will be your sales manager or assign you to one if you don't already have one. The goal is to get you into a 6-digit income within 12 weeks. How is that possible? Well, you will need to start with sales. It is unlikely that anybody else will be passing their jobs to you when you first start out. Without sales, you have no jobs, and without jobs, you have no business. So you start out with sales. We encourage new people coming in to make it a goal to start with a minimum of 2 residential jobs per week. Even if you're not very good at sales and not too good with business administration, that is still an attainable goal. We encourage our people to get started on residential sales. The reason is, residential jobs are the easiest to get, require the least amount of knowledge, and have the fastest turnaround. It should take you about 8 to 12 weeks to fill your pipeline. After about 8 to 12 weeks, you should be closing at least 2 residential jobs per week. That will put you into a 6-digit income, and for most people that is financially comfortable. From there, you can take it to the moon. The other goal is to get you fully trained within 6 months. It will take about 6 months to get all the basics of what you need to know. Not to worry, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to start making money in this business. Your roof has an owie, the insurance company will pay for it, sign here. That's about all you need to know to get started. In reality, you will probably be on a learning curve for the rest of your life. There really is a lot to know about this business, but 6 months is about how long we've seen it take for most people to get up to speed. So what is it that you need? Well, you're going to need to have a strong work ethic. I say that first because it is the biggest challenge we have seen for new people coming in. If you're the kind of person who needs a time clock to be effective, this is probably not the best opportunity for you. To succeed in your own business, you absolutely must be self-motivated. There is nobody I have ever met that has started their own business and told me that it was easy. But if you have the stomach to work, a tough skin, and you're not easily discouraged, then you have a very good chance of making it. Getting started is the hardest part because you have no customer base. Once the word gets around and people know who you are, jobs begin knocking on your door. But it takes about a year to get there. Until then, you can count on good old-fashioned hard work to get you where you need to be. You are also going to need to have some people skills. If you're not good with people, this may not be a good fit for you. You're going to need to be able to make people feel comfortable with you, and you're going to need to be able to communicate well. You're also going to need the resources to last about 12 weeks. We tell new people coming in to expect 12 weeks to fill their residential pipeline. If you don't have that kind of resource, you can start on a part-time basis until you get your pipeline filled. We have had quite a number of people come in on a part-time basis until their part-time job makes more money than their full-time job, and then they switch over. On a part-time basis, it is realistic to go up and down a street on a Saturday and get 2 jobs and then follow up those jobs throughout the week. If you are out of work now and you need quick money, this may not be the best fit for you. It takes 8 to 12 weeks to fill your pipeline and begin making a reasonable income. If you don't have the capital to sustain you and your family for the time it takes you to build your business, you might want to consider going out and getting a regular job and then work on a part-time basis until you have the resources you need. The other things you're going to need are a computer, a printer, a scanner, high-speed internet, and some basic office supplies. You're also going to need a cell phone. You're also going to need a digital camera. However, most cell phones have that built right in and they work just fine. You're going to need some transportation, and you're going to need a ladder. We usually tell people to get one that is at least 12 feet high, something that will reach the roof of a single-story home. You're also going to need a tape measure. With these things in place, a strong work ethic, and good people skills, you will have a very good chance of succeeding in this business. So how have our people done? Well, here are a few stats. For the year 2010, the average gross residential sale was $9,477 and change. The average residential commission was $1,441 and change. The average turnaround time for residential jobs was 2.46 months. That is the amount of time it took from when the representation agreement was signed to when the job was closed out and all commissions received. The record for the quickest turnaround went to a residential job that was done in 12 days. That was from the start to all commissions paid. That was the fastest anybody was able to get it done last year. The record for the longest turnaround went to a commercial job that took just under 11 months from start to finish, and that went partly into 2009, the year before. The highest commission paid for a single residential job this last year was $6,965 and change. The highest commercial commission paid for a single job was $64,539 and change. The combined efforts of our members created an orphanage fund that was able to purchase 8 acres in Sri Lanka and fund the construction of about 15 buildings. That is what happened last year. This year, it is our hope to be able to do a great deal more. Well, there you go. That is a general overview of the basic information on our business model. If you believe this program is a good fit for you and you would like to apply, you can go back to the website. There you will find 4 PDF files: the Alpha application, the independent contractor agreement, a W-9 form, and a workers' compensation waiver. You can print these forms or you can download them to your computer by selecting Save As. Please fill out these 4 forms and email them to our office with your resume. You will receive a response within 3 business days. Once approved, you will be assigned a regional manager. These are the cities where we currently have regional managers in place. However, because we work from a central server, you are not limited to just these cities. You can work from anywhere in the state, even the country for that matter. Your regional manager will be the one to get you set up on the server and get all the training material in your hands. They will also assign you a sales manager if you don't already have one. Your sales manager will be the one to guide you through the process of getting your business built and successful. Good luck and God bless.